All right, let's talk about something that pretty much every homeowner starts to think about when the weather gets cold: furnace maintenance. We're going to cut through all the noise and really get to what a tune-up actually does for your home. So let's jump right in. So let's kick things off with the single biggest fear that's behind this whole conversation. You know the one. That moment of pure dread when you wake up on the absolute coldest night of the year and you realize the heat is off.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's that nagging thought in the back of your head when you hear the furnace kick on for the first time after a long, quiet summer. Is this the year?
And you know what? It's a completely valid fear. It's a known fact that equipment that hasn't been looked at often fails during those first brutal cold snaps. I mean, think about it. After months of just sitting there, that sudden, intense demand for heat can be the final straw for a part that was already just hanging on by a thread.
So, what's the universal solution that we're always sold? Well, it's usually presented as this really simple, really powerful promise. The message we get from everywhere is crystal clear. Getting regular tune-ups is the key, the secret to preventing that awful winter breakdown. But, as we're about to find out, the reality of what maintenance can do and what it can't do is, well, a little more complicated. And here it is. This is the central mystery, right? If you've been doing everything you're supposed to, you're getting it checked every year, why on earth can you still end up freezing with a broken furnace? This is exactly where we need to kind of adjust our expectations and really understand what maintenance is all about.
Okay, so let's start with the good news. A proper professional maintenance visit absolutely does prevent a whole category of very, very common problems. It really all comes down to two things: fighting dirt and keeping everything in balance. The key thing to get here is that all of these issues, dirty sensors, clogged up filters, they're caused by the normal everyday operation of the furnace. It's not a surprise. Soot, dust, things slowly drifting out of calibration, it's just going to happen. So maintenance is basically designed to hit the reset button on those specific things every year. So at the end of the day, maintenance isn't about making your furnace live forever. It's about systematically getting rid of the gunk and wear that comes from it just doing its job. It's all about making sure it can run as cleanly and efficiently as possible. Okay, now for the other side of that coin. And this part is absolutely crucial for having realistic expectations. There are some major things that no amount of cleaning or calibrating is ever going to stop. You just can't clean the old age off of a control board. A tune-up can't fix ductwork that was badly designed from day one, electronic parts have a limited lifespan, and metal gets tired after years and years of heating up and cooling down. These are failures caused by time and physics, not by a lack of cleanliness.
And this graphic just perfectly illustrates the whole idea. Over on the left, you see what maintenance is great at handling: efficiency, safety, and cutting down on those annoying shutdowns by keeping things clean. But on the right, you see the unavoidable truths: parts getting old, electronics failing out of the blue, and problems with the original installation. The real value is in prevention. It's not some magical cure-all.
So a super common question is when to get this done. Getting it done in the fall gives you the most bang for your buck because you're getting the system ready for the stress of winter. Spring maintenance, on the other hand, is kind of like a post-season checkup. It tells you how the furnace held up, but it's less helpful for what's coming next.
This chart gives us a much better way to think about furnace problems. Some issues are preventable, like a dirty sensor. Easy fix. Others are only detectable, like a motor that's starting to draw too much power and is on its way out. And then you have the critical safety issues. These can't be prevented, but they absolutely must be found. This is where a technician's inspection is just priceless.
Which brings us to probably the most important takeaway of this whole thing. If maintenance isn't a guarantee against breakdowns, then what is its real, ultimate purpose?
Let's just be super clear about this. No tune-up, no matter how good it is, will stop the clock on your furnace's lifespan. Every single part will eventually wear out and fail. It's just a fact.
And this, right here, is the real value, especially as a furnace gets older. It stops being just about comfort and starts being about peace of mind. The whole focus shifts from trying to prevent every little breakdown to making absolutely sure the system is operating safely.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The technician's inspection didn't stop the metal from getting tired over time, but their trained eye and their specialized tools caught a potentially life-threatening problem like a carbon monoxide leak before it could actually hurt anyone. That is the real highest value of maintenance.
And really, that's the key takeaway. When you reframe the whole purpose of maintenance, when you move away from this impossible promise of immortality and move toward the critical goal of safety, you can make a much smarter, much more informed decision for your home. Thanks for watching.